Today inside the program, Radio Democracy go look inside waiting come out now the investigation report we NEC do for Seka the Koinadugu by election where them be all this BNTM.
We dey look at waiting NEC fenot for Seka the Koinadugu by election investigation where them they do for complaint where them get from the political party then will be participate na this particular by election. Well, at the studio this morning, I want to welcome Christopher A. Jones, we are the acting director for media and communications na NEC. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, 98.1. Thank you for bringing me here.
All right, continue for the way to. We'll come back to you shortly.
They go quick and look at one issue. Suicide this BN10, the National Electoral Commission being set up committee for look inside election violence issues. We upon na the Koinadugu by elections. We said the APC and SLPP then being get concerned about this election. And self APC being raised concern say, but the council election results now Ward 155 as them believe say, now they win this election, not to SLPP win them. And from the investigation where the committee do, and then finding according to the Chief Electoral Commissioner NEC, Mohammed Kone, show say the commission not get no reason for reverse the decision for Sikada results. Mohammed Kone talk this way even they announced the results them after we NEC conduct 2 by elections them now Ward 069 na Kenema City Council and Safe Ward 091 na Koinadugu City, Saturday, November 13 this year. Well, for more on this, we join Princess Pias.
Saturday, November 13 this year, the National Electoral Commission NEC, when they get the mandate for conduct election, been conduct 2 local council by election them. One na constituency 021, Ward 069 na Kenema City Council, and constituency 027, Ward 091 na Koinadugu District. Outside the election for the constituency 021, Ward 069 na Kenema City Council, na 3 party na meeting up, when a SLPP, APC and RAFP. And this ward election being come after the chief administrator for the Kenema City Council be report to NEC say the councillor on this ward, Alfred Ndoa Barnett of the SLPP, takes to the leave. But how much people will vote na the Kenema City Council election? Mohammed Kone, na the Chief Electoral Commissioner na NEC, he explained.
Analysis of results, Ward 069, Kenema City Council. 24 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 100% of all polling stations in the world. The voter turnout was 1,544 out of a voter register of 6,834, giving a percentage turnout of 22.6%. The total number of valid votes cast was 1,475. There were 69 invalid votes, representing 4.5% of total votes cast.
Mohammed Kone be later announced the candidates we contest and win election we been at Kenema City Council.
The results are as follows. Kaso Anita Sarah, SLPP, 1,059 votes, representing 71.8%. Samu Alex Brimer, REFP, 51 votes, representing 3.5%. Yajo Hassan, APC, 365, representing 24.7%. Therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer, I hereby declare Anita Sarah Kaso of the Sierra Leone People's Party, who, having polled the highest number of valid votes cast, duly elected Councillor for Ward 069 in Kenema City Council.
As Nabitu by election conduct Saturday, November 13. But the Chief Electoral Commissioner not be announced the results for constituency 027, Ward 091, Koinadugu District. But waiting at the reason for this.
Violence erupted at the polling center, UMC Primary School, Yaya, with center code number 03131 that disrupted the counting process after the close of polls. The margin of the provisional results that was tallied in favor of the 2 leading candidates was 272, which is less than 594, the number of voters on the register of voters for the affected center. In respect of the incidents of violence that took place in Yaya polling center and backed by complaint from the independent candidates, I, as National Returning Officer, hereby countermine the result of Ward 091 until proper inquiries are made on the issues raised.
As all this they be, NEC been set up committee for looking inside the Koinadugu election, where NEC conduct this being term after complain them from the political party them we take part in this election. But waiting at the findings, we come out on the investigation with the committee do. Mohamed Kone be explained.
So after the Koinadugu elections, we set up a committee to look into the allegations that were made by APC as well as the SLPP. They have concluded their investigation. The findings have been submitted, presented to the two political parties. We also presented some of the evidence we obtained to some of our international partners. But what is important that we clearly have no reason as a commission to reverse the decision which we took with regard to the certification of the results for Ward 155. We have investigated and we have established evidence that cannot warrant us to revert that decision. And we stand by the results that was announced on the 6th of October 2021.
With all of the issue them and concern them, whether they come out from political party them and the public but NEC they woke, make Mohamed Kone, when the Chief Electoral Commission and a NEC, they end up assure political party and the public say, under in leadership, they go ensure say, NEC conduct election them na the country free, fair and credible one. For Radio Democracy, Princess Pias the report.
From that report, the way Princess Pias put together from the National Electoral Commission NEC, we come back to the studio guest, Wena Christopher A.A. Jones, the Acting Director for Media and Communications. Na NEC there this morning for council we about the findings we NEC don't get for Sika, the investigation where they may do after the Koinadugu by-election, where they may get complaint from the APC and the SLPP where participates in this election, as them raise concerns them ranging from violence where happened there and serve the other issues them where they may get about the whole by-election process. Good morning once more. Welcome to the program, Mr. Jones.
Good morning, Mabel.
All right, so before we can look at the findings them and waiting exactly una no say don't happen at that Koinadugu by election, they'll just take you back to Usai Princess beginning report, the updates we new name, the National Electoral Commission NEC, go give yesterday to journalists them as to the latest by election one have been do over the weekend na Kenema and Kono. Just take we through the specifics of that particular by elections day, then we will come later and talk about the issues we you specifically there for this morning. How that election they been come out?
Thank you. November 13, NEC be put date for conduct two by-elections na Ward 069, Kenema City Council, and Ward 091, Kono District Council, in fulfillment of Section 39 of the 1991 Constitution, we say NEC get power for fill vacant seats. All the center and then pull two ward here be open. Sharp 7, election begin fine one. Situation won't be exist. Now the headquarter for NEC and also now the two district offices them. 8 Ganifanya Street and one about ward. When election done na Kenema, quick one, then we go na SLTU Hall, who will be the tallying center. Then tallying result here. At the end of the day, the result be read as follows. The result say for Kenema City, it say Kose Anita Sega, when are the SLPP candidate, he get 1,059 and a 71.8. Samu Alex Brimer, REFP, get 51 votes and a 3.5. Yajo Hassan from APC, he get 365 votes and a 24.7. The commissioner will get oversight responsibility. Commissioner Mayan, he be quick for read the provisional result. That not done, he will come back to the boss man, Chief Electoral Commissioner Mohamed Kekone, we certify say because Kose Anita Serra of SLPP and on puli boku vote agree and accept say a certify him as the councillor for Ward 069 na Kenema City Council and wish him good luck. We pass over na kono election end up fine one. County begin, then begin count na one center, we na Yaya center. As in the council, quick term. Bombosuro coincided back again. This Kaima, now 4 miles from outside the main town day. Now 52 miles from the main office for Godi. Now 2 police stations to get no more. Almost voter the inside that center day. 594. When this confusion happen, people run, ballot paper scatter, ballot box open, then come back to the Italian center. All that center day, that ward day, it gets 17 polling stations. But waiting come, find one inside T. We not happen, now 15. So the commissioner in charge, Commissioner Edmond Sylvester Alpha, he read that provisional result. He say, anything go commodity, the commission go engage, but it don't read the provisional result. When he can atone information which we say, independent candidate, he don't complain to NEC as himself na stakeholder in the process. NEC say, well, I'm not going to read Kono result because small don't come inside. He use one fine English word, countermand. I they put on standby. I they put them and wait. Not investigation, no. Make them go inquire what actually happened inside that election day. Because the 2 leading candidates, they get different small when are 297. So you say in the wait for city inquiry. So we read Kenema and certify Anita say Castle, but Konoyon will not begin at all because of Kuskas and Bombosuro will be happen inside one game center, Kaima Center. We get 2 police stations with the registered voters in 594 who put them standby, they wait for small inquiry.
So from Saturday or the weekends where these elections happen, and according to you, when I don't put on standby force, from weekends to now, when I Tuesday, what don't happen with this standby, with these results then?
Well, Etina, yesterday, the Chief Electoral Commissioner, they meet the Board of Commissioners and they pull what now do. Now give them small time now, now patient. Then we'll give you information, just now, waiting at the decision. After they don't send, go back na Kaima and go back to the district for get that information from the political parties. Members say, now 4 political parties are in Badeo, APC, SLPP, C4C, RFP, and 1 independent candidate. They all get stake in this one game center and go for engaging with them. And go for call stakeholders and back for engaging with them before we go pull what now do Bambai, waiting at the way forward.
So for this Karima Center, we get the issue na Kono by election. Now waiting at the complaint we NEC receive and from others.
Well, waiting NEC get say counting the honor, don't open the box. People then can't say again. They be violence can't say. They say Bombosoro business, they go come back. And I don't tell people then say election not a bullet, na ballot. Because of that, they not be able to count. Paper they scatter, they gather everything and report back to the district election manager. And the commissioner will be in charge immediately. So he said, take word, he will come back to the chief electoral commissioner. We call meeting of board of commissioners and pull word now do Bambai.
Plenty violence by elections them, and according to we headline, you therefore give findings as to waiting happen at Koinadugu. We now even not present that findings, other one don't happen at Kono. Waiting exactly when they find out as the reasons for them violence they are so and the conduct of by elections them.
Well, the issue we don't encounter na confusion. I don't know if na G3 or na panic, but most of the time, if not all of the times, per recent by-elections them, taken from Umfa Conte Temianda, na Chonko Limba, Teto 110, Teto Koinadugu, Even this last one we conducted this year, all they marry with confusion, couscous, bongosoro, and katakata, and all now one day it affect the outcome of the elections.
So now, who say the panic or GT they come out?
You say?
You talk about panic or GT, where my colleague ask, waiting at the reason when I don't fair not take make violence they come on by elections. Who say they come out the GT or panic? Now from whose section?
Now from the party there. Now 17 party we get. But almost all elections, other than they compete, now APC and SLPP. So you go look inside that one day, you go know who's one of them. He panic and cause Bongbosoro. But now then two, he always take part by election. And activity, what do they do? It affects we. Because when we not able to forgive all the results, the public, stakeholders them, then they look over the eye. But what we go do? Who go put box for the election? Then confusion can inside. We not there for police reserve. Now when we get for one commodity.
So that's una don't fair not say it can cause this panic or GT from the two parties them where you say most times can contest the elections then.
I wish police before dinner, yeah. Men for April to elevate their findings. Because we say if we don't pull foot commodity, we not go did
investigate at times.
No, we don't investigate.
When they ambog on election,
when they
ambog one for no waiting happen.
Yes, Mabel. We go liaise with police for the police take action. When police don't do all the work, it go investigation. And so far, now two political parties in the point here too. Because then they take part by almost all elections, APC and SLPP. But who's why he caused confusion at what point in time? That one, now police will give you that report. Say, we not for conduct election, but and when confusion happen by election, we not go tin up. We go one commodity. And we not even remember for good ballot paper self. Now that ballot box, now the life, now it matter.
So as we talk about issues we get for do with violence now, especially by elections, they when I don't conduct this PNTM. I just draw you to this last one we happened this past Saturday. Una conduct two different by elections in two different districts. According to you, una read yesterday the results for Kenema and put on hold the one for Kono because you say una get complain where una want for no waiting happen before una go finally tell the listener the public waiting come out na the by election. So waiting differently happen na Kenema. We make una able for read their own results, and that's got a hold on the one from Kono. Sorry, waiting differently happen. Now the two situations them where una conduct the elections.
You mean Kenema and Kono?
And Kono waiting differently happen. For Kenema young case, we make una do them peacefully and read the results, but Kono gets an issue.
Well, we always conduct election in consonance with the law. We go put box, open pools, accredit domestic observers. All of that procedure be happen. But always, the 11th hour, this one, it happen at Kono. So, now then we go turn back that same question, we go ask back the security people. Why make una able for police Kenema? We all think go fine one. But what happen at Kono? Me, I'm not going for explain one day. Because we don't put box. We give party people chance for men to go observe the process. We give domestic observers a chance. Even international observers themselves be there. And the pull down closed down. Now continue they all now. They don't begin count. One. Now there's some people in kind side. Call them thugs. Call them youthman them. Call them Harryman. They have confusion at the place. And all man on away. Scatter ballot box and scatter ballot paper. So you see, and when you watch two sides, police for police the election. Even though you go say it's not necessary at all point in time for me could get police for election. We forgot election, we forgot about to normal business like how we do today.
Before we go for that break, Mr. Jones, if we talk about the pointers of violence of the people who are the suspects, we not think in APC and SLPP most times they take part in the elections they are so, or nearly all the elections the way they take place now different part than us alone, and if violence happen na the two suspects then that. In this regard, when I don't engage with the stakeholders within these parties going into the elections, especially the by-elections.
Pardon, come again, please.
When I don't in any way engage with APC and SLPP stakeholders them, where when they conduct elections like this for ensure say then maintain peace, as according to una indications or una pointers, that the two parties, the more are the suspects and some of them violence here.
Thank you, Musa. One of our activity inside election, now we get stakeholders meeting. Also, they bring the people in the community, the political parties, them, democratic institutions like PPRC, who bring the security people all come together, who all they meet and discuss. And one of the issues them we can come out now how to avoid violence. And they all can take them make promise. Say we can go keep on to that. And when you look for this election, now Kono and Kenema, campaign go on, issue not commodity, but when it comes to the polling, now they polling come on. So they address that inside stakeholders meeting. And that not done, we always get a platform where we meet with the political parties. When a PPLC, Political Party Liaison Committee meeting, when we can discuss issues and talk to them. And in most times, they can also call them, now PPRC, and this election, Kono and Kenema, not to be exception, because the chairman of PPRC, we call them, and then we sign a memorandum for understanding, for keeping the peace, bring no violence into it. But they bring that one come. And as I say, that the affect will work. Because we're not able conclusively with all the number of police stations that would open for bringing all the results and report to the people in. And now we are the only body where the constitution give power for conduct election, register voters and referenda. So this one, it affects me badly.
For the Kono elections, we already observe now before the Chief Electoral Commissioner called the results. Which party una the suspect in the violence?
As I don't say, now police responsible for security. Let allow them and do their work. We don't work now for conduct election. Anything happen during the polls, so take counting, so take tallying. We get for do security or violence business. Now police for able to tell me what are their findings. Because as I emphasize, if confusion happen, even during the tally, we bring life into threatening. We no go tinableo as neck. We all go one commodity because we safe na mama born we.
So we understanding now that this Konoba election the independent candidates complain to NEC. We make don't put a hold to the resulting announcements. And that's make I be asked earlier, waiting at the content of in complaint. Now waiting is say happen.
On which
the Konoba election.
Come again, Mabel, please.
The Konoba election, to me understanding, now the independent candidates complain. Waiting at the contents of in complaint.
It say, if we before count Kaima, in before win this election, but confusion happen. We're not able to get the results from the two police stations. So the commissioners agree say, well, let me go check. So in Court Yonka, it say Kaima, we get two polling stations. If it them for counts, I before beat the first man. So because of that, and confusion happen, so let's go look query, let's go inquire, let's go know what actually happened and see what will be the way forward. After we will engage with the four political parties and in the independent candidates, with the other stakeholders, will take part in elections.
So the other party then don't agree with the provisional results?
Well, Etina yesterday, now Sunday, because of the good network, election happened Saturday. Sunday, we get provisional results. Monday, certified results come on. Then what come on and do say we don't hold and force. We not get no feedback from it. But because that independent candidate ain't complain before we read the certified results, now that made the commissioner on their wisdom, then listen to the independent candidate because it's like a stake for play inside the election because inside compete.
Okay.
The primary stakeholders.
Quickly, for wrap this up and follow can somebody findings we kaya for this morning. Now waiting the provisional result they talk. The provisional result, what is it?
For the Kono, waiting the results say?
Yeah, the provisional results won't be done read to them.
Any election where you don't do provisional results done, you send and go to the CEC, he watch them, then he get complain. I'm not going to talk nothing but that though. He say not all and force. This one, he deal with the force. I know we say nothing pass them pull na do bambai.
All right, let me can look at the issue now for the findings of the Koinadugu by-election where we have been doing investigation for, and if people can remember, now on the 2nd of October this year, we have been all by-election day, and after the by-election, well, plenty information being come out from the two political complaints, being come out from the two political parties that will be contest, when are the APC and the SLPP, where we make, go ahead and read the results of una young findings that they but una say una they investigate for sake of the complaint them with them particularly to neck, but say they're not satisfied with how the election process come out. Well, una don't pull on our findings now, but let me just start from the committee where una been set up. Una set up a 4-man committee for do this investigation. Let me start for no first. Who that's them na been the people them na this 4-man committee?
Thank you. Then people there na 4 senior management directors them. They get very experience by election. And they don't train pan different in them. Even mediation, or don't train pan them. And they get a lot of experience. And 4 people there, one common at the Department of Administration, other one common at the Department of Ethics. Ethics na new department where Commissioner Kone bring come in for look at we on ethical behavior. So go behave correct one in consonant with the guiding principles. The other one, now one of the executive secretary then, now the commission. Then the last one, now the one we did for training. So they're all competent and they get long years of experience and training inside election business and also mediation business.
What have been the terms of reference for this investigation?
It be boku. But make a name on a small. One, it say go look how they do this training. It say examine how they deploy materials. He said, check the pooling staff them. Who don't be them pooling staff them they. He said, go back na Koinadugu. Go na the center. Talk to people them within the village. Look the RRF. Do all that you could. And also, when they do the investigation, he asks them for also look at other outcome of reports, findings them. Where other domestic observers like a new, we don't pull na do. Waiting ONS be don't say. Waiting police be don't say. He said, now watch all of Rawan and bring we come a good report and do we recommendation. And some of them say have been in terms of reference, we call TR for this investigation.
Apart from the neck, big people we don't call, we been lead this delegation or this investigations. Would that the other set of people we na stakeholders them with them be part of these investigations, ranging from the community to the other election management bodies them?
No, this is not internal. I will say internal. Now we serve the audit we serve. We serve the inquiry because we get principle within the human resource. So not call any other person outside because we do the first investigation first. Let we commissioner know, let we self know what actually happened out of all the queries them. We come from APC and SLPP. So not call nobody from outside. It is purely an internal investigation.
All right, continue for the between at the studio, Christopher A.A. Jones, Acting Director for Media and Communications, NANEC. Later, when we come to you, go for cancer listeners, I'm waiting exactly on a fair note from the internal investigation we on do for SICA. Allegations and complaints them will come from the Koinadugu by-election. The program, they continue.
The program, Good Morning Saloon, inside the program now, we continue to look at more issues. We said the midterm census gets plenty concern them from political parties, CSOs, and the public. We said they say, government not for doing because they not follow the right process. This make the National Secretary General for the All People's Congress APC Party, Ambassador Fude Yansane say, them party don't ask the World Bank, UNFPA, not for continue for support the census process again because it say it not legal. It talk this inside one meeting where them party hold with journalists and other party member them for talk about the position on this issue. Well, for more on this, we join Yeno Kabia.
The All People's Congress na the main opposition party in the country, where they don't raise plenty concern on different issues then, where they feel say, na bad thing them, where the governments they do, as way for continue for raise them concern yam. Make the APC party, don't hold press conference with journalists then, and serve with them party supporter then. Who side them go talk to them, but see them, where they feel say, they among the peace and democracy in the country. Ambassador Usman Fodeyan Sane, now the National Secretary General na the APC party begin for talk about some of the concern them where them party gets.
More than 3 years after the President Bioled SLPP government came to power, we in the APC have repeatedly and loudly raised our concerns over and protested against the agonizing and dramatic decline in Sierra Leone's democratic, peace and human rights credentials. Sadly, the President Bioled SLPP government has consistently treated and dismissed our legitimate concerns and protestations with reckless indifference. We are therefore very heartened that at this very crucial moment, when Sierra Leone is gearing up for the next general election, our position on the worrying state of affairs has been verified and validated by many of our civil society organizations and one of our international partners, the European Union. The issues so aptly captured in the recent EU elections follow-up report are definitely not new, nor is the President Bioled government's reaction to these revealing facts.
Another concern we in the talk about now about the police, NEC and the judiciary then woke we make him say them party don't ask the leadership na their institution then they for resign.
The APC hereby categorically state that we have lost faith in the leadership of the police, judiciary, and the National Elections Commission, and that by their poor and politically compromised leadership, the heads of these critical national institutions do not have the credibility, integrity, and independence to serve Sierra Leone in the wider interest of peace, stability, and national cohesion. The immediate resignation of or removal from office the leadership of the Sierra Leone Police, the judiciary, and the National Elections Commission. While we applaud the EU for their forthright elections follow-up report and acknowledge the said report as a root and branch verified validation of our concerns over existential threat to democratic good governance, peace, and national cohesion, given the uncomfortable fact that the APC and the people of Sierra Leone have endured more than 3 agonizing years of constitutional abuses and state-sanctioned violence, noting with deep disappointment that the President Julius Maada Bio-led SLPP government, in their characteristic arrogance, have acted in bad faith in outrightly dismissing the independent findings of the EU, one of Sierra Leone's strongest partners in building and the consolidation of our nation's hard-earned peace and democracy.
The midterm census gets plenty challenge from CSO political party and the public. We make Ambassador Usman Fodeyan Sane say them party they call on World Bank, UNFPA, not for support the midterm census again.
The current minister in the Ministry of Development and Economic Planning, who is in charge of statistics Sierra Leone, should be investigated for waste of the country's meager resources by going ahead with the unprecedented midterm census. We demand also that Statistics Sierra Leone should stop all activities that they are putting up for this discredited midterm census. We are pleading with the World Bank and UNFPA not to support a process that is at variance with the laws of Sierra Leone. The contested and controversial census statutory instrument has not been properly laid in Parliament. The pilot census is also not legal. Many Sierra Leoneans have strongly supported civil society organizations and political parties in opposition to the midterm census. The people of Sierra Leone would like to ask the World Bank and other institutions to review their decisions to fund the midterm census. Continuing with midterm census has the tendency to create instability in the country. The EU report has highlighted and described the holding of such an exercise when elections are just around the corner as unnecessary.
The Auditor General and in deputy then suspension. Now one pan plenty concern them where the APC party gets. Outside the Secretary General say the process where the President take for suspend the Auditor General and in deputy no legal.
We in the APC believe that the necessary procedures and constitutional provisions were not followed. This is the hallmark of the SLPP. They never follow rules. If you ask them, they will refer you to what APC did 20 years ago or 30 years ago. They are not prepared to follow the rules. If APC has done something wrong, do you have to do the same thing to justify that it had been done as a precedent? No. Do the needful and the right thing. In the case of the Auditor General, she has the state of a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature. You don't just remove them without reference to the General and Legal Service Commission. It is they who will recommend to you as president, and then you take the appropriate action. But that has not been done.
Ambassador Usman Yansane end up say, if the entire continue for happen at the country, it not go good for the country in peace and democracy. For radio democracy, you know, Kabia the report.
As you tell me about the committee where una been set up and una don't pull una findings them, I take you back to the issue we get for do with the people them na the committee. One pan the neck workman them now one of the issue that we been come out from the Koinadugu by election. Also the APC party been talk say then get problem with that on our workman because according to them be say he add figure for the SLPP candidates na this by election yeah so and you talk say the committee on a set up the former committee na neck workman no more been the day. How credible this report here so be taken into consideration on a workman on a investigate and this work. On not put the one then where lady complain, part of the committee. On not put the community people and most of the problem happen na the committee. Now on no more do the investigation and pull findings. How credible it be?
The report we then bring out is very credible because the one day we inside the committee we do this work, then are professionals. And we all with time, we all don't be professionals in we job. Because that is one of our guiding principles. A lot of trainings don't take place. And the election result and the outcome of the result of the investigation is very credible. And because we don't get nothing for hide, we explain it in 50-51. The first thing we will do, we call the two big political parties that we contest and report to them the outcome of the investigation. And we'll talk to them and tell them and let it think to them. Clear one.
Okay. Let me look at your earlier statement say what we ask you waiting exactly una fenot na kono. You say una no go able bring out findings because when kata can count una can come on. Now police can they around and other management bodies. Now kata we come on Koinadugu na don't count with findings. We say una exclude the police and the publics and other elections management bodies. Somebody go say, even though you don't say the people who then do the investigation are professionals, then but then can say you can't give what you don't have. Even you be a professional, if you don't know what exactly happened, going by your statement, you're not going to bring out the findings where you think say they represent the reality on the ground. You don't think so?
Yes, because even Musa 98.1, if something happen, an officer management will just grab you call Papa Police or go call next day, I can check for what happen now. It will set small committee. It must get people inside, we credible. I don't say inside 98.1 are this so. People that we compete, we credible. If something happen as well, let them two persons go investigate what happen. And the same thing happen inside neck. We get people long years of experience on neck work. Long-term professionals and get credibility. And then do the work because in terms of reference we then give them, it's spelled out clearly. If we allow, I can lay the card one by one, waiting at them findings because not your confusion no more than go check for. They also look at the complaint from APC, look at the complaint from SLPP. What happened? Even how they retrieve the materials after election, how they deploy the materials. Now all of the things then the committee look into one by one and bring a report to the commission.
So now waiting on a fair notes.
Thank you. Vacant seat be there. October 2nd, polls open. Now 2 elections begin at Koinadugu. The chairperson for the entire district. This district get 18 wards, 131 polling centers, 300 polling stations. Almost registered people in that district, 84,293. You come to the ward 155. Now councillor, now Indai, the carry chairman, na Koinadugu die. Almost person they will register inside that ward day. 3,954. 15 polling stations, 7 centers. The big tongue for that ward in Alcalia. Case 1. What I call case 1, the first thing we APCC, we call them reconciliation issue. What in a reconciliation issue? Mabel and Musa, we gave it to call RRF, Result Reconciliation Form. And by principles and by default, every polling stations who they do election, will they give you 300 ballots. When they can pantale, would expect, say, during the reconciliation, almost ballot you receive, almost you use, almost you spoil with the ballot ready inside the box. If you match up to the total number of ballots, we are 300. So this particular center here, we get case 1, where APC gets issue pan, it gets center code of 06096. Now MCA Primary School inside Alcalia. Waiting happen. One person when at the Tale Center who been there, inside the Calabar Community Center, he say, the result me get as party send inside now the data base. It different no straight away as he raised that issue there, he raised that objection there. Commissioner will be there in charge. Commissioner Edmond Sylvester Alpha. He stop and say, let's go back. Then check back and say, yes, it's correct. Straight away. Then correct that issue there and give the right figure where the party agent call for. Now and they will proceed with them. Right. When they want to go investigate, they also go far and beyond. They want to look at this RRF. And when they bring the RRF, they realize for say, the RRF get beaucoup issue. It get TPEX, just like a university result, school result. It don't forget any crutch. But then she say, it get TPEX. So the blunder, the mistake, if it don't come up from the police station. But when it cannot the Tale Center, this we staff here, it will reconcile because the investigation also tell we say 100 votes. If they play, it don't get no survey a day. And 100 votes they play. So because 100 votes they play, it don't match up to the total number of 300 who will give for each police station. And that particular police station, so it not go pass. So waiting happen. This we staff here, a blunder, we call a breach of procedure, a reconcile, also enough for reconcile. But waiting is still do. It go on, a sign, a pen down signature for proof, say, I don't reconcile this. So the investigation point out, say, this staff here, they don't say commit any crime, if it be criminal, because it look for, say, this 100, it a play, and because it a play, something needs to be done. Therefore, how they correct them? The investigation proves, say, they correct them, now the Tale Center, who say the parties them be there, 4 from APC, 4 from SLPP, and then take this 100 where they play, they put on to invalid votes. It pass. Case 2, inside Ward 155. And the councillor own 394 registrants, 15 polling stations, 7 polling centers, Alcalá Town, polling center 06101, polling station 01. Waiting then at the RRF, Koroma Sayo Mamadou, APC 083, Feronka SLPP 0149. Now that's the investigation bring out. But waiting in at the RRF, I will make them. We create 4 space when I for 3 figure no more. And when the investigation and they explain to the commission, they say when they get the Tale RRF, then she say waiting the day now 0149. Then they call back the them. This is election manager. Do you account free tongue? It come with the T, waiting at T. Now the tampered evident envelope. The result for the district tally is inside. Then snap them. Then open them. And they realize for say waiting at the district tally RF na 0149.
Right.
Then they look back. APC it tender evidence. Waiting APC own RF say, but it don't override. You mean I don't know whether not because it not clear or waiting, but it don't override. It don't use pen. It don't write by the RF. So now they want to use a bill say it's not tenable. So put them one sign now. They will look say this result. In other no alteration, nobody no alter nothing. Now from the polling station,
Okay.
then the waiting investigation say, let's go find the polling staff. Take today the presiding officer. We not forget them for making can answer to this query. This 0149. Now you write them, we not foresee it. And because we foresee them, the commission, the findings, they say this polling staff, the presiding officer, on an PMO, they will still look for them. And the commission will pull out Nado, whose action it go take against that polling officer.
Okay.
And this network man, we don't breach procedure. The commission say they will discipline the officer there because a breach procedure. Although the form, the RF, will come on at the polling station, it don't alter. It gets this, it gets TPEX, and 100 ballot be the play, we don't get no side for put them. But that issue be correct. Now the community Kabbalah Community Tally Center na Kabbalah, then be correct now and the party be accept them and we move go before.
Okay, make I just holiday. Christopher A. Jones, continue for the with me at the studio. We can't talk about the issues and we don't come out from the findings and we don't tell we so far.
Look at the TPEX. We say what we na find out say na in be lead to this TPEX day one on this RRF form and what it mean na election process.
Not to by the term, by the term no, not to that it mean. Make a lay and find one make you understand Musa. I mean listeners them. We dey listen 98.1. When election they done at the polls, you dey prepare RRF, result reconciliation form. One copy they go to the party. One copy they hang at the polling station wall. Other copy, we na the first copy, we na the original. And they go to the district office to the them. Other one they go to the tally. And all the day inside tampered evident envelope. We mean say if you tamper with them, the envelope go show. So when they look the tally, district tally, waiting and see it read say Koroma Sayo Mamadou APC 083 Thoronka SLPP 0149. Therefore, the investigation committee say, let me call the district election manager, come with the district copy of this election for the polling center 06101 polling station 1. A count inside the same T where it be used during the 2nd of October. Seal one, not tampered. Then open them in the presence of them where do the investigation. When they open them, then call the commissioners and for can watch. And when they pull this copy, then see say the same figure 0149, where in the district copy of the RIF. Now in same one it tally with written in the tally district copy. Then they watch to APC in your evidence we send. But in your RIF, it don't overwrite Panam. And now RRF, you know they overwrite Panam. Now just like when you don't get your college result or school report card, you know they tamper with them. So therefore, you know be old water. So therefore, the investigators then prove say this issue, you know, nobody no alter nothing. APC be alleged say now the tally center they don't put one. But when they watch the tally copy, now 0149. District copy can now the same thing, nothing not change. Even though the committee realized for say now 4 box to put, when for just 3 digits. But yeah, we see 4 digits. Therefore, they say, let us invite the presiding officer who presided over that election in that polling station. But nowhere to be seen. The commission they submit to the commission for make the commission take action promptly. And one of the prompt action, they not pay him any money. And then still get for take another action against them. But it's up to commission level. So that is the issue.
Apart from not paying the person in your money, this don't put neck question mark don't depend how credible an election it can be. And na una workman, where you say una no see am, what you mean una no see am? Una can just take people and give them work, or una they do background search in case of them kind case here, so that when something happen, una go able know who side forget the person.
It don't left with beaucoup question and lessons learned. For every election, we're different from a company, we they learn lesson. But one thing we're unfortunate on the part of NEC, we staff not go able to conduct any by-elections, not even to talk about general elections, because we not get the strength. So what we always do, we turn back to the same Sierra Leonean them, not to Guinean them, not to Liberian, not to Gambian them. The one they qualify, and they will take, we train them, we give them responsibility, go and do this job, and then they turn back, deceive we. But still yet, in fulfillment of one of our guiding principles, when our credibility, the commission will take responsibility for any of your workman a wrongdoings, because that presiding officer, and ad hoc staff, so action will be taken. But going forward, lessons has been learned.
So I don't take responsibility of what happened at Koinadugu as National Electoral Commission?
That is part of the guiding principles, credibility. Any wrongdoing, where if we were able to see that presiding officer, now just one question, the investigator committee for ask them. This 0149, now you write them. If you don't give you the answer,
you for write them.
Pardon?
Una not able for know if na in right time when I handle the situation.
Yeah, now we call them presiding officer. We can then preside over that election day. Wait till we go for AXAM, because the district tally a be there with we open the T na community na Kabbalah Community Center. But when the them come with the district copy, we seal as in all elections. We realize for saying that the same figure 0149 now in there now the district copy where tally which waiting there now the tally copy of the RF. When we say no alteration, nobody no change, nothing. Therefore, investigation turned to the presiding officer.
Somebody they say this is misleading. NEC RRF form don't need a 0 before any number that is above 100.
Come again.
Somebody they say this is misleading. NEC RRF form don't need any 0 before any number that is above 100.
No, maybe the person not understand. So because you don't understand, and my own place for make you understand. I say now 4-digit space day. 1, 2, 3. Now 4 boxes will put. But in this situation, waiting we see 0149. That means now 4 digits don't go into 3 digits. Therefore, the investigators wanted to talk with the presiding officer. Why for? Because the district tally come free to.
Mr. Jones,
yes,
after
please.
1 month, how serious next take this issue? Where una still watch for this una workman?
Well, you see, we set up big man and big woman them with a lot of experience for the internal investigation. There will be talk say who they investigate. They will come on a door. We come back for explain. First of all, 98, we say thank you to una.
Because the reason why I ask, in as much as una set up a committee, but as important as all the complaints them be from the 2 political parties, them the one way be most contesting gets for do with that figure day, where be the float where somebody go add. Also, it not be supposed for them. Now, one pan the issues then they well like people and really want for know waiting happen where that person neck workman decide say if I put that figure there under. And up to this point, we're not able for yet from neck if we don't talk to the police, for example, for declare that person they wanting in as much as now una workman no, but una no usa ide right now. Una don't ask police, for example, for declare I'm wanting. So something if it in a community they hide, people go pull and come out do.
The Board of Commissioners, they don't release the outcome of the investigation. The investigators, they don't submit findings, recommendations. Then they meet. Now, presiding officer, one of the prompt action we take, we for pay every workman within 24 hours after the election. They say no pay am. Then the commission they meet. What next? The public will be informed. That's not part of the administrative decision we then go take. But as I say, it's rather unfortunate on the part of the one them who they give job, because we expect them to be able to turn themselves to the investigators them and just answer that question they hope for know what actually happened.
Apart from una tap in your salary not for come or in pay for that work the way you do, what are the other steps the way NEC don't take after this investigation?
Well, I just want to explain to you, say, you get board of commissioners them, recommendations, they don't make them to them. Then say go sit down and look at the recommendations. But what we quick for do, the commission or answer to the public. So when you don't pull this here, we say, talk to the public one time, may they know the outcome of the investigation. After you don't talk to the political parties, APC and SLPP, in the presence of PPRC, you talk to them first, tell them the outcome of the investigation before we go public.
What are some of the recommendations then?
One, the first situation at the prompt one, that presiding officer is enough for PM. Right?
That's enough. That's enough for that kind of crime where he commits. For enough for pay, person more.
Well, who knows something is sick. But the board of commissioners them, then go look into the other recommendations them and come out. It will be administrative. And within the NEC, we get human resource and we get principles them, penalties them, depending on the crime where you go commit, where action will be meted against you. You go feel the wrath of the commission. Commission Relatran.
Christopher Jones, somebody where they listen to you, what happened with these 100 floating votes?
Well, for the reconciliation procedure being fulfilled, then therefore take that 100 votes put onto the invalid. And all of this way the investigation committee explained, it not happen now Wellington Data Center. Now inside the Kabbalah Community Tally Center. And we'll move on. That was accepted in the present and full view of the two big party alleged decision and move on. That is not only the only thing. Even violence, the committee report on that. Violence na RCC Primary School 06047. This center, it is face to face with APC office na Kabbalah. One motoka, it drive with speed go to the center. Before Jaco Kotiai, youths them come on, then vandalize that motoka, damage them. You go back to St. Balia Primary School 06115. People then come, then take ballot paper, ballot box, then burn all thing, then they put up 8 bikes, then they raise them. People then run helter skelter. Even the presiding officer pulling staff them, then run. Who said they go come on? Na machine. Go to DEC Primary School, Kabasia 06072. The ballot box, then take and 30 days. We will see one ballot box.
So it's all then thing where they talk about so. Why next still go ahead and confirm the result and announce the winner? Even so yesterday, we already the Chief Electoral Commission and the briefing una been get with journalists them, they say una no get for reverse that announcement they una be don't make, una still stand so the announcements we una be don't make for that particular election day. It's all then thing we don't talk about.
Well, let me look now. Almost pulling center within the districts. Now 131. Almost issue we get, almost pulling station day, 300. So what you do, the 4 we get issue, where confusion happen, who cannot account of those votes, will bring out results for 296 stations and read them out. That's the decision of the commission. And the commission stand by that.
Any election, you don't talk say una been get the different center on accounts all and decide where people and votes all. The right thing for do in this case, not so being for let una get all the results of all the side una conduct election and read them instead of deciding say the one way we get confusion, we put them one side, but we don't read this and I we stick to. Best practice now waiting in this case.
Each election different. And other thing we want for taking note of, when we be the cancel election because of Katakata and Bongosoro, the same public be the condemn we, the voters' money, the Salonian money, every one election are billions in the cost, take into consideration the things that we put into the election. So in cancellation of election, we still not put them into a law book seat. That is why the commission is going for electoral legal reform moving forward. So let the law guide we. If confusion happen in a polling center, what do we do? If polling station, what do we do?
So what's in a best practice?
Best practice, now where it go into the law. And that will be the best practice. So we don't determine by corner your own take, or Mabel your own idea, or Musa your own idea. So, we'll go look into the law.
So in this case, una just use your own discretion and decide so una they call the results, even though some fraction of the elections side them in the way get problem. Una just decide so una want for call the results for the half side where the clean election be.
The katakata now overwhelmed all the polling centers. Out of 131, you get me? Now just 4. And not to all polling stations.
Because election na election.
Yes. So we not go say because of that one day, we take a whole district of 131 polling centers, 300 polling stations. We're able to retrieve results for 296. Best practice that we see, we have to move on.
Now we look at the bone of contentions from the opposition where they say they don't go accept the council elections. And now you don't talk about 100 floating votes them way una council. This council votes, is it for the councillor or the ward or the districts?
It happened for the district chairperson. And it not happen after the result too. Now inside the tallying process na Kabbalah, APC was well represented as well as SLPP. It was arranged and the figure go back. But wait to make that issue they come up now because the $100 ballot will be the float whenever for matchup, then put onto the invalid. Therefore it go on, but it not tamper. It not affect the winning of the party will be the lead. Now that make APCB really chairperson. The councillor, the alleged say, NEC thief pan and vote. We will look the RRF will come on at the district. The figure they did are the same with the figure they did at the tally RRF. So no alteration, no thief nothing. That's 0149.
All right, so to wrap up the program now, this una staff way una say una still una workman una say una still defend. In an event way una happen for CM, then una ask and the question way una wants for ask them. If you get answer, we go contrary to waiting una don't announce as of the results. Anyway, go the way go change that result to the back based on waiting it go tell una.
The commission, the chief electoral commissioner, Mohammed K. Kone, we get the power for it certify results. Where is it don't read and done. The only time when the result go take a different turn, personal quotas. But apart of that, it stands. And the commission want for tell everybody say they go continue for the election with the guiding principles of transparency, accountability, professionalism, and impartiality. And the commission, on behalf of the Board of Commission, I want to say thank you to the manager, producer, and the entire staff of 90.1 for giving the platform for can explain back to people. That is very good on the part.
Right.
Now, they add for me to achieve with vision and with mission. Thank you, 98.1.
Many thanks to you, Christopher A. Jones, Acting Director for Media and Communications from NEC. Now, this edition of the program, Good Morning Salon Golefuna. Plenty thank you to the production team. Alex Lawrence, Kroma, and Michael Sambola produced the program. DJ Ahmad give you technical support. Moses